Hello, it's Russ from Dad in a Shed, and I want to show you a little bit about how you would limit the amount of time that a user spends in a particular app. We've all got users that spend far too much time watching YouTube or playing games when they're supposed to be focusing, and the iPad really helps you to combat that. The way to do it is to go to the settings and go to screen time, which is here on the left, and we're going to turn on screen time. We're going to click continue because we want to actually use screen time, and we can set it up as my iPad or my child's iPad. I'd suggest that you set it up as your iPad because then you've got the ability to change any administration settings. So I'm going to click this is my iPad and it's going to turn on screen time for me. The first thing I'm going to do is set up a screen time passcode. So I'm going to click on that here, use a screen time passcode, and I'm going to put in a PIN number 1234 and do that again. So that's now my passcode set, and it's going to ask me to put in my iTunes account details so that if I forget the password, I can recover it and let myself in. So I'm just going to enter that. And I'm going to put in my password. And I'm going to click OK at the top corner. So that's now going to set up screen time for me, and that's all set up. What I can do is set up a thing now called downtime, which locks me out of apps during a specific time. So if I click on downtime, it'll ask me to enter the screen password that we just put in. So I'm going to click on that and pop that in. I can now go in and adjust the downtime settings. So I'm going to turn that on, and you can see now that it's 21:42. So I'm going to set that to 21:44. And then we've got a little bit of time just to show you what else we can do. So I'm just going to scroll around and set that. So 44, there we go. And I'm going to click on the blue screen time at the top to go back a menu. What this will do now is at 21:44, it will lock me out of all of the apps, but I can actually choose the apps that I want to allow. So I'm going to choose always allow, and I'm going to put predictable back on because that's my communication aid, and I want to make sure that's always accessible. If I go back to screen time, we're there and it's all set up. The downtime is 21:44 till 7 o'clock in the morning. I've allowed the app, the communication app that I want to use, and that means that in a real world situation, you could lock out the school day from watching YouTube or anything like that. So I'm going to press the home button and just show you that if I open up Predictable, which is one of the apps that I won't have access to shortly, that's still working. If I open up Seen and Heard, that's still working, and away we go. If I go back to the home button, you can see on my clock icon that it's 20 seconds past 21:43. So I've got 40 seconds to wait, and then that will be locked. I'm going to go silent for a minute, and then I'll speed up the video, just watch that second hand ticking round, and we'll be ready to go. So you can see there we've got 10 seconds to go, down to 5 seconds, and it does kick in a couple of seconds after the time that you set. So there's 23:44, and the apps have just greyed out. So you can see there that if I click on the App Store, it won't let me go into it. If I click OK, it will just take me straight back out. What I can do is ask for more time as a user, and then I can add a minute, or I can ask the person that I'm working with to put in the screen time passcode that we set up, and that will allow us to set another time limit. If I just click OK to come out of there, you can see that all of the apps are greyed out. I can't use them except for Predictable, which we allowed the user to still have access to. So that's how you lock down the iPad and make sure that users remain focused on the apps that they're supposed to be using.